All right, I'm on hole number 9 of the Easter Open tournament and Wednesday's qualifying round of the Ricky division. Let's go check out hole number 9. And this is a hole here that you have an awesome shot at Albie, but you also have an awesome shot at Epic Fail. So here, it can be a very easy eagle, but here you have to get over on this drive, even if you just limp over. And earlier today in my practice account, I hit this rough and I barely rolled down in the green and was able to get my eagle and go home. But I could very easily have ended up in the rough down here, and this is a tough, tough shot if you end up in any of the stuff down here. So you need to get over, and you can do this. We've got a headwind here, so you can do this with a Quasar. You don't have to bring out a big ball. But I have a lot of Titans, and I'm trying to get out here into my short iron range. And I've been having issues with this green all week where it's not doing what I want it to do. I'm not able to get out here and get it to run up. So I've switched how I'm approaching this green, and I'm going to use my backspin clubs, and I'm going to try and get closer to the green. If the ball's going to have, what's happening is that if I land here, the first bounce, I'm landing here, and my first bounce is going way up in the air. So you're losing a lot of forward momentum when it digs in on that second bounce. So it's making it have an irregular bounce here. And so it's hard to gauge how much topspin you need to put on it in order to get it to the hole. And the green, the pin's sitting here, and it's got a mound around it. And everything's going off in this like this, and it's hard to get onto that little mound where the pin's at. This is a very difficult green the way they've got it set up. So traditionally, in order to get rid of this bounce, I'd move the ball back here, but it doesn't seem like it is flattening it out a little bit, but it's still really high, and you're losing a lot of forward momentum. You can't just get a dribble on run. You can't get a run at it. So I'm going to come at it from up close and try and just backspin it in. But the key here is it doesn't really matter what you do on this second shot. It doesn't matter what. The key here is that you have to get over. And I'm going to take all my backspin stuff, and I'm going to take a katana. And I've got my big stuff to try and get out of trouble. Now, I believe that my Nirvana will probably be enough to get me up there. And it doesn't really get any better than a Spitfire. And when you get a Spitfire, even at level 1, it's immediately usable. It's a great club to have in your bag. In the argument of what is the greatest epic out there, my argument would be is that the Spitfire is the greatest epic that you can get in your bag. And that, yes, when you get an Albatross or Apocalypse to level 7, that is an awesome club when you get it to level 7. It's a usable club when you get it to level 4. But you may not always have it in your bag. You may find that there's holes that, hey, this club works better or that club works better. And so that's the way it is with all the epics. They may not be the club that you carry in your bag. Even if you've got them maxed out, it may not be the club that you always carry in your bag day to day when you're playing one-on-one. But a Spitfire, on the other hand, is a club that you will start using early when you get it, and you will continue to use it, and it will stay in your bag unless you're on one of those backspin holes. And at upper levels, it starts to get some backspin, and then there's hardly any time you wouldn't pull it out of your bag. All right, here we go. I'm going to put everything I can get on it. The wind's going 4-2. The wind's going to push me over here about 4-2, so I got to ride that. Just going to try and hit it straight. Hit it great to the left. Try and get it out there in my short iron range. That type of wind in that type of position when you're trying to do that, that's That's a difficult wind to adjust for. So if what I would do, what you can do is set your ball up there where you'd like it to go and go down there and take the 4-2 wind out and then push it forward and put the distance back in. So what you've done is you've taken the side wind out of the equation, but the forward wind that's in that 4-2 is still going to push you forward. And see, I like what our opponent did there where they tried to do the run up to it. But you can see they didn't quite make it to the hump. I mean, the pin is actually on a little hill surrounded by nothing but down. Yeah, I'm in my claw. Now I'm in my Saturn. So I'm in my Saturn. Let's try and do some max backspin here and see what we got. I'm going to go right behind it. Try and bring it back to it. I'm in my minimum club, so it's about 3 per ring. So I'm going to do just a little over a ring. Try and hit it perfect. Hit it perfect. If I'd have missed the flagpole, I probably would have had a pretty good shot there. And I don't really like the looks of this putt, but that's the risk of coming on this hole with backspin, is you take the risk of hitting up there and then backspinning it way back down on the green. And I have only done this twice where I've done backspin like this. Usually this hole I don't use backspin on it, but I was just wanting to see what it looks like. And it is a dangerous deal using backspin because it's all downhill here. So if you miss that, now you've got this uphill putt. And you could very easily end up in a max overpower. And so I think I won't be doing that again. I like the fact that I can get up there and get close at it, but I would rather take the irregular bounce and the inconsistent shot and just try and get up there close to the green and give myself a shot at Albie than to hit the flagpole like that, because I was literally a yard away from being in a max shot. So I was already right there on the verge of being in a max overpower. So that's not a really good spot that we want to put ourselves on a consistent basis. So I think for the safety of my game and for yours, I'm gonna probably not recommend that we do the backspin shot on there. You got to try it in order to see what happens. But I can see some danger in doing that shot. And I got kind of unlucky that it hit the flagpole. If it would have hit on the green, I think I would have been actually pretty close. But I still think I would have ended up rolling down that hill. Would have sucked it down that hill with the backspin. All right, that was hole number 9. Let's see where we ended up. All right, we're at the top. And that's what I'm saying. If you've watched all 9 of these holes, I didn't, other than on hole number 5, where I pulled out a 5-power ball. And I'll tell you, if you've got lower developed clubs and you're new to the game, hole number 5 is going to be a super tough hole to get an eagle on. But it is eagleable. If there is a hole that you can kind of give yourself a shot at eagle to pick up one in your bracket, hole number 5 is the hole. And the key there is that, you know, if you've got a bigger ball, bring a bigger ball. But if you don't, use a Titan, use your extra mile, bring a big dog and see what you can get. But don't risk getting in the sand on hole number 5. And if you know, get your birdie and go, because a lot of people are going to go there and get pars if you've got lower developed clubs and you're playing in those lower. If you're playing in the rookie division and you're playing against other rookies, you know, if you get an eagle on there, you're going to be way ahead of the group. But if you're playing in the expert or masters portion of the rookie tournament, everybody's going to have higher developed clubs. They're going to have the same kind of clubs that I have, and they're going to have a big selection of balls, and you can't afford to go to hole number 5 and not get a birdie, because you're just going to be giving up a shot to everybody in the top 10. So for this account, you know, I'm interested in being in the top 10 every week, and I can tell you right now, everybody in the top 10, top 15 is going to get an eagle on number 2. Everybody in the top 10, top 15 is going to get an eagle on number 1. Probably at least the top 10. So you're looking at 10 people that aren't going to make mistakes on that. And so, in order for me to keep up with the Joneses, the only hole really in this entire tournament where I'm going to have to do something spectacular and bring out the big stuff, it's going to be hole number 5. So to help me out, so that I can get into a more accurate club in order to get onto the green, my sniper, I'm going to compensate by bringing out a 5 power ball. But that's going to be pretty much the only hole in this tournament that I'm going to do some extraordinary stuff on. And if you're, if you're in the rookie or the pro portion of the rookie tournament and you've got a selection of bigger power balls, you've hoarded them, as I've suggested, and this is the time to bring out that 4 power ball. This is the time to bring out that 5 power ball. And hole number 5 is going to help that. If you can secure an eagle on hole number 5 every single time you get to it, you're gonna be amazed at how far that's going to move you up the brackets. All right, that was the Wednesday qualifying round. So we're qualified for the opening round. I got my practice account and my main account. I will play my practice account on Thursday. I'll play this account on Friday. Same thing this weekend. I'll try and play one on Saturday and one on Sunday. If I can, I'll play them both on Sunday, but I'll try and get one of them in on Saturday. That way I can post it and you guys can see. Because on Saturday, I'm really going to be trying to dial it in. Especially in this account when I play it on Sunday in my weekend round, because there I'm going to be trying to do exactly what I did here, but there are a few holes that I'm going to put in a little more effort to try and give myself a shot at picking one up, because I really think in the weekend round what's going to happen is that I'm going to have to shoot a 27 to have any shot whatsoever at a win. And I would not be surprised in the weekend round if somebody doesn't pop out a 28. So it's going to be super critical to try and pick one up on each side. And I'm not exactly sure where that's going to happen. I mean, if you look at the holes, if we go back to Golf Clash Notebook and look at these holes, I mean, hole number 1, we're already trying to get the eagle. We have to get an eagle. Now, there is a shot at hole-in-one here. Okay, you could make it hole-in-one, so there is a chance that you could pick one up here. And the shot that I'm doing from here does at least give me a look at hole-in-one almost every time I come here. But getting the eagle is enough. Hole number 2, I mean, we do have an Albie shot here. So this is another hole that that we could potentially pick one up. And if we're coming out here, this does give us a pretty serious look at Albie. So this is another hole that we really want to focus on. And what I've decided in my game is that I may actually go back and I'm going to go back and watch these videos, and I may put like maybe one less topspin than max, because I really do like the look from further back as opposed to further up, because I want to open this up so that I can come at it. I have a choice. I can come at it and go with backspin, or I can come out and try and run it up to the hole. And I think for a lot of you, if you've got lesser developed clubs, this is laying up and being a little short of where everybody else is hitting is actually a better view at the green. So this is definitely a hole that you could pick one up. And it doesn't take a whole lot of special stuff, just an extra mile and a Titan, and then you choosing what's the best wood in your bag. If you've got a higher develop or a Guardian that's got backspin, then you can hit it a little bit farther and you can backspin it on. If you don't have a Guardian that's got, probably at least 3/4 of its backspin, then you're going to want to lay up a little bit shorter and come at this with a club like a hammerhead or a sniper or something that you can run it up in there, or whatever club, whatever your other go-to wood is. You want to shoot it with something that's that you're very comfortable with. This hole here, you definitely have a shot at hole-in-one. So that's another hole. So the first 3 holes, well, hole number 2 and hole number 3, you do have a shot. In my opinion, this hole right here, there are people that are going to shoot eagles on this. There's people that are going to go for it. I've seen it done. I've actually hit eagles on this hole before, but it's very dangerous. And in a tournament, I really, truly am not interested. I'm not interested in going for eagle on this. I want to get on the green, make my birdie putt, and go to the next hole. Because I think there's going to be too many people that push the limit on this, and I don't want to be one of them. And if I lose the tournament because I didn't get an eagle on this hole, then I lose the tournament because I didn't get an eagle on this hole. But this hole right here, I think if you secure a birdie every single time you come to it, you're gonna be a leg up on a lot of people. And this hole right here, this is a hole that you really need to get eagle on. This is the one we're talking about. You want to get out here as far as the tree. There's some trees here. You can't. I don't know why they're not. You were trying to get out here by the sand. So with a 3 power ball, you're somewhere in here. With a 4 power ball, you're going to be somewhere in here. And with a 5 power ball, you're going to be somewhere out here. With a 5 power ball, you have a better option because you can switch to a sniper. If you're further back, if you're using a 3 power ball and you're out here, you're definitely going to have to bring a big dog. Or, if you've got higher developed clubs and you were just coming out here with a 3 power ball, you could do it with a Cataclysm. But I think bringing out a bigger ball and getting more on your drive will make it much easier on the second shot to get the eagle. If you don't want to bring out a bigger ball, then you're just admitting that, hey, I'm going to go for a harder shot. You've got a hard shot to get out here, and then you got a really hard shot to try and get on. For me, the eagle is about, you can get an Albie on this hole, but this is not a high percentage Albie hole. Securing your eagle is the goal on this hole. It's another one of those types of holes. Hole number 6. You do have a shot at hole-in-one. Okay, so this is another shot that you do, and I'm going from the other side, and I still think I still have a shot for hole-in-one. This hole right here, there is an eagle shot on this. It's not a high percentage one, but there is an eagle shot. But this is another one of those holes that, if you mess around too much, you could very easily end up with a par. So I'm interested in trying. I'm actually trying to go for the eagle on this, but I'm not doing it at the expense of my securing my birdie. The shots that I'm doing on this are absolutely. I'm doing a pure layup shot, and then I'm coming in here where I'm taking all of this stuff out of play, and I'm only dealing with the green. So I do have a shot of getting an eagle on this, but I'm not doing it to risk my birdie. But this is a hole that I actually am going for it on, and I've been going for it on every time I've played it this week. So this is a hole for me that I do have a shot. It's a low percentage shot, but I do have a shot of picking one up on this. All right, hole number 8. This is one of those low percentage hole-in-ones that's very dangerous for the people that are hitting it out here. I'm hitting it up here, and at least I'm getting a look at hole-in-one every time. And hole number 9, I think because of the way that it's running up on the green, you have a shot at Albie. But once again, this hole's playing tough right now. So there's not a lot of areas out here that you've got, like, hey, if I get to that hole and I hit it perfect and I line it up, I'm going to pick up one. Where you're picking one up already is on hole number 1 and hole number 5. Those 2 eagles that you're getting right there, that's really the ones you're picking up. Most, you get a large percentage of people that don't get an eagle on hole number 1, and that same large percentage of people that don't get a hole on number 5, you're looking at probably 50 players out of 100 that aren't going to get those shots. Some of them aren't going to get it either time, and some of them are going to miss one time around and miss 5 the other time around. So just getting that 13 is going to automatically put you above a bunch of people in the bracket. But if you're trying to get into that top 5, you're trying to go for that win, somewhere in this mix, we're going to have to pick up a shot. And this tournament right here, other than the par 3s are probably your best area to try and get a hole-in-one. But these other holes they're tough. All right, that was the Easter Open tournament and Wednesday's qualifying round. Thanks for watching.